today we are joined by Kevin Durant. This is really exciting. Welcome.
What up?
So, what 2K game was the first 2K that you played and who was on the cover?
NBA 2K was the first one, and Iverson was on the cover. So, I've been around since day one, it feels like.
Do you have a favorite memory or something that sticks out with 2K in particular and you working with the 2K family?
Well, being on the cover was the best thing. Around that time, me and my friends, in the summertime, we were having these legit tournaments, like 8 or 9 of us having 2K tournaments. So now I walk in the house and say, yo, I'm on the next cover. Everybody went crazy, So it was one of the moments, one of the bro moments that we all sat down and laughed and joked about, but also it was pretty cool to accomplish. Once you make a cover, that kind of solidifies who you are in the NBA, So I felt like that was the next thing for me, making a couple All-Star games and people starting to know who I am as a player. Now to give them the biggest and best game in the world, I think that was next for me. So it was pretty cool, something that's gonna last forever.
When you do play NBA 2K, do you always play as yourself or is it more fun to try and score against yourself?
Lately I've been playing with the Nets. I guess I've been trying to figure out how we're gonna play by using the game a bit, but it varies. Sometimes I play against myself, sometimes I play as my team. But either way, man, it's like I said, it's just so much fun. It's just the game is really nerve-wracking when you lock in because it's tough to score on the computer, and everybody has their actual movements on there. So it's like you really have to be strategic and smart. It's a real cerebral game now, so I enjoy it.
So is your my player like you, or?
Excuse me, I got about 5 my players, I made sure I had a starting 5 of guys. My favorite to run with is I have a two-way finisher. He's like Stromile Swift, that's what I call him. Long, athletic, and dunk. But I use Dwight Howard dunk packages, Zach LaVine dunk packages, Russell Westbrook. So I feel like I got all of my favorite players wrapped in one.
Who is your starting 5 from the current players that we have in the league right now, excluding your my players? You can't put your my players in there.
All right, so I'm gonna play the 4. We got LeBron at the point. We'll have Klay Thompson at the 2. I'll play the 3. We'll go at the 4. We'll go Anthony Davis. No, Anthony Davis will be the 5. At the 4, we'll go Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, is Anthony Davis going to be happy at the 5?
Yes, he's going to get all the points.
I like that team. I think that team wins 20 championships.
In a row, easily.
What about a good point guard? Is there a difference in qualities you look for in a real-life point guard versus one in 2K?
In 2K, I need my point guard to score at all times. You got to look to shoot. You only pass when you don't have a shot. In real life, we got to move it around a little bit, and we got to be efficient. And on 2K, you can shoot any shot you want from deep. In real life, we have to be efficient, find the best shot. Sometimes that's not you, sometimes it's somebody else. So, yeah.
So let's talk about celebrity trash talkers. Is there any celebrity that has the worst trash talking on the court? Maybe they're sitting courtside?
Drake and Travis Scott talk the most trash to me. And I usually talk trash back to them after I make a shot or let something go well, but it adds another dimension to the game that I really, really enjoy. I grew up playing street ball, so all you hear is trash talk from the sideline. So to hear well-known guys sitting courtside telling you that you won't win a game or you can't make the next shot, it just adds more fuel to the fire. So I encourage it. I encourage more of those guys to come out and have fun with it.
Especially with Drake's broke jumper. Like, what?
Yeah, they know. Drake and Travis started to get into basketball a little bit more. A lot of these artists are starting to get into hoop a little bit more. So I guess it's a good thing. And, we're going to test their jumpers out when it's time.
Yeah. So I want to end by asking, who's the hardest person, whether it's a teammate, a friend, a family member, whoever, to beat at 2K that you've played against?
I lost 2 times. I lost two games in a row to Kyrie yesterday. So that's the last guy I lost to. So I'll say him. And I'm looking for some redemption. But Kyrie, I give it to him.
And getting mentally prepared to compete. You see the focus. You feel the energy. These guys are ready to go. A spectacular sight as we approach our broadcast location in downtown Orlando through the air. This is it, opening day. The regular season is set to begin, and we're thrilled to bring you all the live action right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, giving us the rundown from the sideline courtside, David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Bam Adebayo is a first-time All-Star in 2020. He was the 14th pick in 2017. And he said, whoever gets drafted, you want to play the right way. My situation was different. I had to sit. You gain experience and reps during practice. Once you get to do it in the game, the leash gets longer and you get to become who you want to be. Kevin, he's become one of the best young big men in the league.
All right, thank you, David. And here's the upcoming schedule for the Heat. On Friday, they'll be facing Steven Adams and the New Orleans Pelicans. Then on Tuesday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And that game against Milwaukee, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll.
So here's Miami's starting group. Jimmy Butler is out there with Mo Harkless. Then it's Robinson. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Dragic in at the point. And for Orlando, at the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fournier out there with Markelle Fultz. And it's Bacon in at the small forward position. Greg, obviously we're early on here. We already have seen some second-year players looking much more improved over their rookie year.
I mean, if you put in the work, you're not guessing as much. And listen, the fact that you've now gone through the season, you've got a better sense of who you are and what you can do out on the floor. I know I cut way back on my turnovers at the start of my second year, and you go into the offseason with specific goals and areas where you want to improve.
You think there's more growth between your first and second year than any other 2 years in your career?
You could make that case, no doubt about it, because that's you're still thinking you could be one of the all-time greats no matter who you are at that stage, and so you tend to put in a little more emphasis in terms of improvement.
Here's Vucevic following the three by Miami that went in, and the basket by Gordon. And now, just over a minute played here in the first.
Well, you can't help but think of the dunk contest robbery with Aaron Gordon. Didn't receive max points on some of his dunks that clearly deserved it. Said he's done with the event after the last go, and I can't say I blame him.
Now here's Butler.
Well, tremendous defensive effort on the interior. That's the kind of contest you want.
Connects from three-point range.
I love the decision-making of Evan Fournier. Just fantastic at pulling up in rhythm.
And with the dunk contest and Aaron Gordon, some of the dunks he pulled off, Greg, were outstanding.
I mean, going over Taco Fall was the big one. The one-handed windmill was impressive as well. Gordon doesn't need a trophy. Everyone knows he's one of the best dunkers we've ever seen.
The Magic have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Inside, and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Robinson for 3. Vucevic with the rebound.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Boy, don't you love to see Aaron Gordon make these kinds of decisions. This guy is fully capable of recognizing open teammates.
Now here's Butler to stop the run. Robinson misses.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
Gordon with it. Now guarded by Dragic. Fultz the pass to Fournier. Good ball movement here by the Magic. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And the energy of Fultz, impressive. Has an ability to nail difficult shots over an aggressive defense.
The Heat trail by 5. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need the basket.
To the paint, here's Adebayo. Off with the layup.
Boy, in that close, he's almost automatic. Boy, that's pretty good defense. Wow.
And that does it for the first quarter. It's the Magic up 5. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And guys, for the Magic, what jumps out to you so far, numbers-wise?
They just came into this game with the mindset of sharing the basketball.
When you keep everyone involved at the offensive end, it keeps everyone engaged in other areas as well.
Here's Anthony. On the court for Miami here in the second. In the middle, it's Olynyk and Adebayo. Kendrick Nunn out there with Hero. And it's Iguodala in at the 3. No good from Ross.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Magic leading by 5. Outside Anthony. Bamba against Adebayo. Bamba's shot is off. For Orlando, they won their last contest, that game against Charlotte. Good work there as it goes.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Passes it to Ennis. Birch kicks to Anthony. The Magic again can't hit. The Heat trail by 3. Pass to Nunn. Down low, Iguodala. And Andre Iguodala with the slam.
Don't make any mistake. Andre Iguodala's been around a while, but the hops are still part of the game.
Anthony, the pass to Ennis. Now here's Ross. Not a lot of room. Pass to Ennis. Beyond the arc. And the 3-ball is good. Ennis has got his first 3 points of the game. Greg, we have a league of many great playmakers, don't we?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. LeBron James is obvious. You know, he played point guard technically for the first time last season, but he's always been a floor general. You look at a young man like Ja Morant, and he's been on the attack since day one when he hit the league. And there's so many more of those guys that are having an impact, understanding the value of that lead guard position. It is fun to watch.
It is so fun to watch, I agree. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group. Vucevic checked in for Bamba. Clark comes in for Cam Birch. Aaron Gordon, he's checking in for Ennis. And Fournier subbed in for Terrence Ross. And then for Miami, Harkless is checked in for Adebayo. Jimmy Butler comes in for Andre Iguodala. And Bradley subbed in for Kendrick Nunn. The Heat trail by 4. Now here's Bradley, the fast break opportunity. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Nails the corner 3. Butler's got 5 now.
When Jimmy Butler is knocking down that 3, it so unlocks the other aspects of his game. How about the concentration to score it from deep?
Fires from the wing. And the jumper is on the mark.
He is too good a mid-range shooter to leave him that open.
We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Floats it up for Butler.
Well, the presence of mind from Kelly Olynyk, knowing someone's open, finds him quickly.
And it's Anthony with the ball for the Magic. Here's Vucevic. Rebound by Olynyk. Bradley against Clark. Bradley deciding where to go with it. Here's Harkless. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in.
Well, Vucevic showing a willingness to work on the defensive end. That's nice.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break at the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq. It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. At its highest, their lead topped out at 5 points. They were outscored by just a bit in the second quarter as they go into the break now holding just a 1-point advantage. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
Well, they've given a good show to their fans so far, executing well on their home court. It's far from a done deal, though. This is a game they do not, I repeat, they do not want to let get away from.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Heat?
They were strong in transition. Seemed like the guys fed off the higher tempo. Certainly, they definitely got the looks they wanted, playing an outstanding game. They can keep it up in the second half, they may wear the other side out.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take it down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Nice game, great performance by Evan Fournier.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fournier out there with Markelle Fultz. And it's Bacon in at the small forward. And that's the group for Steve Clifford as we begin the second half. And although the passes aren't flashy by any means, Nikola Vucevic, a very effective playmaker at the pivot.
And Vucevic is very calm when pressed. Reads the defense well and makes the simple but impactful pass. Great in dribble handoffs. It's a big reason he averages almost 4 assists a game.
Well, what you love about Jimmy Butler to me is he can carry an offense. He can also affect the game with his high-level defense. That is the rarest of rare combinations.
Now, here's Fultz. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on Bam Adebayo.
And we all know that defense, not necessarily the strong suit for Vucevic, but it's an area that he has definitely shown some improvement.
No doubt, Greg. His greatest strength, obviously, is ability to get on the backboards and rebound with a high efficiency and production. And the key is he's worked to mask those defensive deficiencies. Not a lockdown anchor, but certainly a better team defender than when he entered the league.
And the basket is good. Fournier's got 9 points.
Well, this is where Fournier's at his best. Give him some room to run, and that speed will take its toll.
Dragic kicks to Butler. Magic leading by 3. Fournier passes to Bacon. Gordon deciding where to go with it. Here's Vucevic, and he finishes nicely on the layup.
Well, Nikola Vucevic can score against excellent defense. That is a good finish in close.
Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. Butler, no good.
This guy just can't find his rhythm, and you look up at the scoreboard, they absolutely need his productivity.
And it's blocked. Now, here's Adebayo. Tight defense on him. Robinson kicks to Butler. Outside, Dragic. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. And that'll be Miami as it goes out of bounds. The Heat retain possession. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Ahmed Bamba, he's checked in for Vucevic. Cam Birch comes in for Aaron Gordon. Ennis, he's checked in for Dwayne Bacon. And it's Ross in for Evan Fournier. Andre Iguodala is checked in for the Heat. Orlando leading by 3. Fultz the pass to Ross. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And the dunk by Bamba.
Well, Mo Bamba, no doubt.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Bounce pass from Iguodala. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Adebayo for the Magic. Vucevic, he's checked in for Bamba. And it's Clark in for Kem Birch. And then for Miami, Heroes checked in for Robinson. And it's Avery Bradley in for Goran Dragic. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Butler. And it's Iguodala with the jam.
That's the court vision of Avery Bradley. Remarkable how he finds these wide open teammates on a consistent basis.
Now here's Ennis. With 2 seconds left. The shot that time, not on target. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. It's the Magic, up by 3. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. On the floor for Miami, Adebayo is out there with Jimmy Butler. Then there's Iguodala. Then there's Avery Bradley. And it's Hero in at the 2 guard. Up it goes, and the Magic lead is cut to just 1 on the basket from Butler.
Boy, Butler took a pretty good hit there, but has the strength and the coordination to finish it. That's pretty.
Ross kicks to Fultz. Makes it off the glass. And the Magic lead by 3.
And the D not really doing its job there. A little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint.
And slam dunk by Butler.
What a great look by Andre Iguodala. We know he's unselfish. If there's space for his guy, he's going to find him.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. So for the Magic, Gordon's checked in for Clark. Dwayne Bacon comes in for James Ennis. And Fournier subbed in for Ross. Maurice Harkless is checked in for the Heat. Kendrick Nunn comes in for Bradley. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey guys, I had a chance to find out what Steve Clifford talked about with his players. He said, "This is what we play for, fellas. Let's knock them on their heels right out of the timeout. Show them how much you want it. Go get it." He really is fired up about this game.
Goran Dragic is checked in for Miami. Miami trailer. .149 left to play here in the fourth. And no good that time.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And then Gordon with the dunk.
Aaron Gordon showing he can jump out of the gym. How about that alley-oop?
The Heat trail by 3. Here's Butler. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
We know this about Jimmy Butler. The guy has no fear. He delivers when his team needs it.
They retain possession. Dragic against Fultz. Outside Fournier. Just 5 to shoot. Another shot. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Fultz has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Markelle Fultz under duress. Big time shot.
Timeout called the Heat. They're down by 3. 104 left in the game. And now a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, Nikola Vucevic.
And as you'd expect, he's done most of his damage in that low block. I mean, that was the game plan, to get it to him in the paint and just let him go to work. And boy, has the big fella delivered. He has just killed them down low.
It's stolen by Dragic. And now here comes Robinson leading the break. Tries again. Comes up empty down low. And it's Fultz with the ball for the Orlando Magic. 3-point lead. Fournier for 3. Robinson pulls it in.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Good! And that shot brings them to within just one.
And that one sends the bench into a frenzy.
I'll tell you, these guys have worked so hard together. Everyone pulling in the same direction. Beautiful to watch.
Now, here's Fultz. Outside Gordon. And it's Vucevic in the corner. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Gordon inside. Great D that time from Adebayo. Timeout called the Heat. They're trailing by 1. 5 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And there's the pass to Butler. Oh, that shot had a chance, but no good. And so the big win by Orlando in a tight game. What a show they put out here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to lose. You gotta love